This is Rotherham, a metropolitan borough in South Yorkshire with a diverse and vibrant blend of people, cultures and communities. From the smaller rural areas and villages to the main urban centre of Rotherham itself, our borough has got a lot to offer. There's a good quality of life, economic opportunities, excellent links to major road and rail networks, and an international airport on our doorstep. That's why Rotherham is changing, and changing fast. Around 250,000 people currently live here, but this figure is rising steadily and will continue to do so, thanks to proposals to develop a landmark town centre for Rotherham, the new advanced manufacturing park at Waverley, the construction of 10 new schools, major investments in housing, and schemes for new leisure facilities. So, as our borough grows, it's the job of the planning system to shape this development, making where you live, work and learn a better place both now and for the future. It's a huge responsibility, balancing different views and often making difficult decisions. But without a planning system, everyone could construct buildings anywhere or use land in any way they wanted. So something called a plan-led system is used. This involves a plan for Rotherham that sets out what can be built and where. The plan has two levels: the Regional Spatial Strategy, also known as the Yorkshire and Humber Plan, and the Local Development Framework, which will replace the current Unitary Development Plan. Both the regional and local plans take into account the future needs of communities, but also look at the local environment and how to protect it. Planners frequently make decisions about new developments which affect individuals and the future growth of the borough. So, how is this development controlled? Most new or major changes to existing buildings or to the local environment need approval, known as planning permission. Applications are made to the council, who then decide what effect the development will have, and if it is in line with the approved plans, permission is usually given. If permission is refused, the applicant has the right to appeal, although some areas, both natural and built, have special protection against certain developments. For minor building work, you may not need to apply for planning permission, because the effect to your neighbours or to the environment is likely to be small. Planning applications are mainly handled by planning officers, but some are handled by locally elected councillors serving on the planning board.
Planning decisions in Rotherham, as they are throughout the country, are made in accordance with an adopted plan, unless there are good planning reasons for dictating otherwise. Our plan, the Council's Unitary Development Plan, sets out across the borough land allocations and planning policies we use to inform our planning decisions. We also have to have regard to national planning guidance. In Rotherham, about 90 to 93% of all planning decisions are made by officers of the Council, whereas members of the Council meet fortnightly at a planning board meeting to decide the major applications throughout the borough, and that's consistent with how applications are determined across the country. Council Planning Board, in their role as adjudicators on certain planning applications, obviously play a very, very important role in the lives and where the borough takes forward its development. The benefits to our people in Rotherham is that we do allow members of the public to speak at planning board meetings. We involve the public on the site and in the planning in the chamber as well on planning meetings.
Specialist legal and technical officers also attend meetings, with all councillors attending regular specialised training. And because planning is determined by this legislation, there's also an enforcement system if regulations are breached. Although planning officers aim to resolve any problems through negotiation and mediation, but developments that go ahead without the permission of planners may be costly. The planner's role is not to punish, wherever possible, talking rather than getting tough. So, how can you get involved? Local residents must be told about planning applications. These are advertised to allow people to give their views for or against proposals. Planning meetings are open to the public, giving you the right to speak, with reports available in advance. The Council may also want to consult you about big proposals for developments before a planning application is made. Although you may find that your views are not reflected because the policies on which the decision was based were agreed some time ago. That's why it's important to have your say in the preparation of our new local development framework. The framework for Rotherham will set out policies for the use of land and making attractive places over the next 15 years. So, if you're concerned about how this will affect your street, house or area, then the LDF is relevant to you, and you can influence what it says. The LDF will also need to set out what is needed for Rotherham's community strategy vision and priorities to become reality. So, what are the community strategy's priorities? Well, they're based around 5 strategic themes. Rotherham achieving, making Rotherham a prosperous place to live. Rotherham learning, inspiring residents to develop and achieve their full potential. Rotherham alive, making our borough a place where people feel good, healthy, active and live life to the full. Rotherham safe, where our neighbourhoods are cleaner, safer and greener. And Rotherham proud, so that everyone has pride in where they live and work, with fairness and sustainable development as 2 cross-cutting themes. But how do we make sure that we get the right development in the right place and at the right time? Well, this is a key job of the new planning system and Rotherham's LDF, and we want you to get involved, so that your local community has a say, making sure the LDF is a true reflection of your views, taking into account the future needs of communities. That's why it is so important that you get involved when the plans are prepared. And to encourage you to get involved from the start, the Council has produced a document called the Statement of Community Involvement, which sets out clearly how and when you can influence things, because the only way the Council can know what you want is if you tell them. Planning can look complicated, and it can put some people off having their say. But if you don't, then how can your views count? Contact your local council planning staff. They're there to help. To talk about planning permission, call 01709 823 835 or 01709 823 869 for the local development framework. Or visit our website at www.rotherham.gov.uk.